what I want to tell you in the next 22 minutes. Your mental health is not a mystery. It's not a permanent condition. And the gap between where you're now and where you want to be is smaller than you think, if you know what to work on and in what order. Today I'm giving you 5 specific things you can start today. 3 for the body, 1 for the mind, 1 for the soul. These are not motivational tips. They're clinically grounded interventions, the same types of things I work through with my clients in my practice. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to do and why it works. Stay with me. I'm Dr. Slobodan Nešović, a licensed clinical psychologist and a founder of Psycho-Enalysis, a system that integrates depth psychology, energy science, and the spiritual dimension of human experience into one framework for healing. But this video isn't about the system. This video is about you and what you can do starting today. I'm going to structure this simply. Each tip has 3 parts: what it is, why it works, because you deserve to know the science, and how to do it right now. Let's start at the foundation, the body. Tip number 1. Move your body deliberately. Not a gym membership, not a training program, not an hour of suffering. 10 to 20 minutes of deliberate, intentional movement every single day. Here's why this is non-negotiable. When you move your body, when you walk briskly, stretch with intention, or engage in any sustained rhythmic movement, your brain produces a molecule called BDNF, brain-derived neurotropic factor. Researchers sometimes call it fertilizer for the brain. It stimulates the growth of new neural connections, it regulates mood, it rebuilds the pathways that chronic stress and depression have eroded over time. Here's the part that most people don't hear enough. You cannot think your way into emotional health while sitting completely still. The body and the mind are not separate systems. They are one system. When the body moves, the nervous system reacts. The emotional brain, the limbic system, literally shifts state. This is why people feel better after a walk. It's not just a distraction. It's a real, documented, neurochemical change happening in real time. How to do it? Pick one movement and commit to 10 minutes a day for 7 days. It can be a walk outside, which is best because natural light exposure in the first hour after waking also regulates your circadian rhythm and cortisol. It can be stretching, it can be dancing along in your kitchen. The key word is deliberate. You're not multitasking, you're not scrolling. You're present in your body, moving, breathing for 10 minutes. 1 week, notice what changes. This is tip 1. Tip number 2. Protect your sleep and understand what it actually does. If your sleep is consistently poor, every other mental health intervention you try will be working uphill. Not because sleep is the most important thing, because disrupted sleep dysregulates the one system that every other system depends on, your autonomic nervous system. Here's what happens when you sleep. Your brain runs a kind of biological maintenance cycle. The glymphatic system, the brain's waste-clearing pathway, becomes most active during sleep, actually deep sleep. It flushes metabolic waste, including stress hormones and inflammatory proteins, from the neural tissue. Think about that for a moment. Sleep is when the brain literally washes itself. When you cut that process short, when you sleep 6 or less instead of 7 or more hours, or when your sleep is fragmented by anxiety, you accumulate what researchers call neural debris. Mood becomes more volatile. Emotional regulation becomes harder. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for rational thought and self-regulation, literally goes offline first when you're sleep deprived. This is not a discipline problem, this is a neurobiological one. What to do? First, set a consistent wake time. Not a consistent bedtime, a consistent wake time. Your circadian clock anchors to when you rise, not when you lay down to sleep. Pick a time you can maintain even on weekends within 30 minutes or so. Second, get outside within 30 minutes of waking. Natural light, even on a cloudy day, signals the brain that the circadian rhythm or circadian day has begun. This is the single most powerful tool available to regulate your sleep, and almost nobody uses it consistently. Third, create a 1 hour wind down, 1 hour before you want to sleep. Lower the lights, stop the screens, reduce stimulation. Your nervous system needs time to downshift from beta waves to alpha brainwave states before sleep is possible. It goes beta, alpha, theta, and then you fall asleep. You will feel the difference within 3 days. That is tip 2. Tip number 3. And this one I want you to experience right now while we are here together. It's breathwork. Breathing is the only autonomic nervous system function that your body runs automatically and you can also control consciously. In real time. Your heart rate, your digestion, your hormone release, all of these operate on their own, below your conscious control, but your breath is both automatic and voluntary. And because of that, it is the direct bridge between your conscious mind and your autonomic nervous system. When you are anxious, when you are in a state of stress, your breath becomes short. You breathe shallow, fast, with using upper muscles of your neck. This signals the sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight branch, to stay activated. Anxiety feeds anxiety partly through the breath. But if you consciously slow and extend your exhale, you activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and repair branch, through a direct neurological pathway called the vagal brake. You're not coping with anxiety, you're physiologically turning it down. Let me teach you one technique right now. Do this with me. It's called the 4-7-8 breath, and it is the one of the most clinically validated breathing protocols for acute anxiety and nervous system regulation. Okay. Sit comfortably, feet flat on the floor if possible. Place one hand on your chest and the other one on your belly. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Hold at the top for the count of 7. Now exhale completely through your mouth. Let's try that one more time. Again, inhale for 4. Hold for 7. And exhale for 8. One more. Inhale for 4. Hold for 7. And exhale for 8. Good. Take a moment. Notice what changed in your chest, in your jaw, your shoulders. That physiological shift, that gentle loosening, is your parasympathetic nervous system responding to direct, intentional input. We did it only for 3 times. You don't really have to do it too much more than that. This is available to you at any moment, in traffic, before a difficult conversation, at 2 a.m. when you can't sleep and your mind won't quiet. 3 rounds, that's all it takes. Daily practice builds a baseline for resilience over weeks. You're literally training your nervous system capacity to turn to calm. That is tip 3. Now we go deeper. The body is the foundation, but what lives on top of it is the mind, and particularly what the mind does with emotion. This next tip is where most people are missing something fundamental. Tip number 4. And this one requires your participation. I'm going to teach you a technique, and I want you to actually do it, not just watch it, do it. We'll do it together. Here is a problem most people are experiencing without realizing it. When a difficult emotion arises, anxiety, sadness, shame, anger, the automatic response is to manage it, suppress it, push it aside, distract yourself, do something, tell yourself to move on. The problem is that the emotion doesn't go anywhere. In both depth psychology and energy medicine research, suppressed emotion doesn't dissolve. It stores in your body, in the nervous system, in the subconscious patterns that then run your choices and behaviors in ways you couldn't quite explain. This is why people who have dealt with something still react to it years later. The mind understood, the body didn't release it. The technique I'm going to teach you is called Emotional Freedom Techniques, EFT. It came out of TFT that I got certified in 2006. It has been clinically studied and published in over 180 peer-reviewed trials. Results include documented reductions in PTSD, anxiety, phobias, and measurable decreases in cortisol, your primary stress hormone. It works by combining 2 things simultaneously. Tapping on specific meridian points on the body, the same pathways used in acupuncture for thousands of years, while verbally acknowledging an emotional experience. This combination does something remarkable. It activates the body energy system while simultaneously engaging amygdala, the brain's fear center. You're not suppressing the emotion, you're moving through the emotion. This is a fundamentally different relationship to your inner life. Let's do this together. 3 steps. Step 1, identify and rate. Think of one thing waiting on you right now. Just one feeling. It could be anxiety about something coming up, a frustration you can't shake, physical tension you've been carrying around. Name it in 2 or 3 words. Now rate its intensity from 0 to 10. 10 is maximum distress that you ever experience in your life. This is very subjective. And 0 is neutral. You're very neutral about this. Think about this. This is something we call in clinical practice subjective units of distress. Pick the highest is 10, let's say panic and fear of your life, in anxiety or fear. And 0 is like you're neutral. You're absolutely not aware of any fear whatsoever. Take a second and hold that number in your mind. Step 2, the setup statement. Find the outer edge of your non-dominant hand, for me that's left, the fleshy side below your little finger. It's like karate chop point, like right here. Tap here firmly with all 4 fingers on the other hand, and gently but firmly tap there. As you tap, say, even though I have this, I'll go with anxiety, I deeply and completely accept myself. Set it up twice. Even though I have this anxiety, I deeply and completely accept myself. As you're tapping and you're saying the statement, you may have had some resistance saying, I deeply and completely accept myself. It's absolutely fine to say, I'm working on accepting myself, or I will do my best to accept myself right now. Step 3 is the tapping sequence. We move through 8 points. At each one, tap with 2 fingers and repeat a short reminding phrase, your word or feeling that you chose. I'm going to use anxiety as an example. You use whatever you named. So let's do it. Just follow me. Okay, after the setup phrase, we go on top of the head. And let's just say this anxiety, we go to the eyebrow, there's your ocular bone, so not on the top of your eyebrow, it's on the under of your eyebrow. And you say, this anxiety in my body, side of the eye, this feeling that I'm experiencing. Under your eye, I feel this anxiety. So then under nose, I acknowledge this anxiety. Below the lip, there's a groove right there. I don't have to fix it right now. I don't have to fix it. Collarbone, middle of the body is right here, top of the collarbone. So it's about 1 inch or a few centimeters to the side. There's a soft spot. I can let it move. I can let move. Side of the body, right under your armpit, like where women's, where the bra line is. You just say, I'm aware of this anxiety. Back to the top of your head, you can put 2 fingers on the side of your ears. If you go towards the ceiling, it's right on top. I can let go of this anxiety. I'm gonna let it move. Now let's move on to tip number 5. And I want to say something before I teach this one. This tip is the one that most how to improve your mental health videos leave out. You can reduce it to a timer or a checklist. In my clinical experience and in 17 years of working with people through their most difficult moments, this is the tip that makes the other 4 sustainable. Here it is. Connect to the part of you that was never broken. Every major wisdom tradition in human history points to the same insight. Beneath the noise of the anxious mind, beneath the accumulated weight of life experience, there is a dimension of you that is whole, that is connected. Carl Jung called it the self, the deepest layer of the psyche that is always oriented towards wholeness and healing. In the ancient Christian contemplative tradition called hesychasm, monks called it the heart, but the spiritual center, the place in the human person where the finite meets the infinite. Modern neuroscience offers its own language. Research shows that when the brain enters alpha and theta brainwave states, states of relaxed, open awareness, the prefrontal cortex becomes more active. The amygdala quiets, that fight and fight part, and the brain accesses a quality of information processing unavailable to the busy, stressed, high beta mind. The mystics called prayer, what depth psychologists call deep inner work, these are describing the same human experience from different angles. And you can access a version of it right now. I'm going to offer you 1 minute of stillness. I want you to do something most of us never do in a day. Simply let your attention move out of your head and into your chest. If you're willing, sit comfortably, close your eyes, Put your feet flat on the floor. You can put your hands open, palms facing up on your thighs or in your lap. Let's take one slow breath in and out. Now let your attention move downward. Let your attention move from the thinking mind down through the throat into the area of your heart. Let me help you with something. Imagine a soft golden thread in the center of your mind, right between your thoughts. Watch it gently descend, moving slowly towards your chest, toward your heart. When it arrives, imagine that it touches something there. And as it does, a quiet silver light begins to expand outward in all directions. It's going in front of you, on back of you, to the sides, up and down. And it's expanding. It's expanding beyond your room, beyond your city, into our solar system. And it passes through the solar system into the far edges of our galaxy. This is where healing that goes beyond technique lives. You don't need to have a dramatic experience. The subtle shift is enough. A small settling, a moment of quiet. There is a great deal more to it, but you just touch the edges of it. And the edge is enough to know the territory is real. Now I want to give you something to take with you. I've created a free PDF guide that walks through all 5 of these tips in detail, including the EFT tapping point, the Breathwork protocol, and a simple daily practice template you can start using tomorrow morning. The link to download the PDF is in the description below, completely free. Download it if you want to go deeper. I share insights, tools, and upcoming events directly with the people on their list. No spam, just the work, and it's not gonna be every week. If this video helped you, please share it with one person who needs it. That's how this kind of content finds the people it's meant for. I'm Dr. Slobodan Nešović, and this was Psy-E Workshop. Thank you for participating.